All right, guys, this next video here, this is about quoted work. So when you get a job where, let's say you're going to replace a condenser fan motor, and that is your job for the day, you are going to see a yellow dispatch on your board. It will say quote, just like this one. It's going to tell you where it is, what day, what time was promised. Go ahead and click it. At this point, we know how to handle our status changes, right? We're going to the supply house. We just stopped at the supply house. Let's go ahead and set it to traveling. Right now, we're going to go down. We're going to look at our PO here. So our PO, Train Riverside. So going down the list here under dispatch notes, if you see this first top number that says hashtag 2162, that number is the value of the quote. We use that for revenue purposes when we're putting together the schedule to make sure that we're hitting our revenue goals in the service department. It's a way for us to kind of quick reference without actually having to open up the entire job and take a look and say, hey, that's a $2,000 job. So if we have a day where we're doing or we're trying to hit $15,000 or $20,000 as a department, these numbers are really quick access for us, so we can add that math up and make sure we're on point for our revenue target for the day or for the week or for the month or whatever it is. So you go down, PO 35877. It's going to give you your PO number. It's going to give you your location of where to pick it up, which is Train in Riverside, and exactly what you're picking up. 3 circuit boards. As of 5/21/2020, they were at will call per Claudia, and Andrew spoke to Claudia. Very clear. If you show up, nobody has the parts, but you're speaking to a guy named Bill, well, you can always call up Andrew and say, Andrew, there's no Claudia here, or is there a Claudia here? Claudia spoke with Andrew, and they confirmed it on the 21st of May. This quote was approved on April 16th by Gary. Here's your IVR instructions for your check-in, check-out. And the quote down here set hashtag 78670 that was written by Chris. So that tells us who wrote up the quote. If you have any issues with the quote, like let's say you're on a leak repair and you don't know where the leak is because it wasn't documented exactly where it is, you can always call up Chris and ask him, hey, where was that leak at? I can't find it. I pressurized the unit and I can't find the leak. Down here is going to tell you the amount of time that you have to complete the quote from start to finish, and any other information will be handled right here in the dispatch notes as well, and then you got the customer notes down below. But let's say we get to the job site, and now we are working. All right. So let's take a look at our invoice. Whoa, so our invoice is already done and written for us. That is the great thing about the quoted work, is that everything is already laid out. The quote is pretty much just transferred over from the quote description, and it gets directly onto your invoice here. Sometimes what will happen is if you're on a quote dispatch and there's nothing here, there was just something in how we scheduled it. Either somebody else was scheduled on it as well and they downloaded it. No worries, same thing. You don't have to rebuild the quote or anything like that. We can do all that on the back end with just a couple of different clicks. Give the office a call and let us know, and we can forward you a copy of the quote so that way you know exactly what you're doing. We can send you a PDF version, and then as far as closing out the invoice, it's done in the exact same way whether or not you have an invoice on here or not. So basically what we want to do is we want to go to edit invoice, and if you look at your technician handbook, it tells you the codes that you're going to put on here. And so for quoted work and completing quoted work, we're going to add the code P complete. Right? You can either type out the whole thing or you can type out part of it, see what comes up. All right, so this code comes up. As per proposal, completed all work as proposed, started units, checked operation. Okay, that is all you need to write as far as I am complete. This thing works. It's 100% operational. What we are going to do is add a couple more codes in here. We are going to add our PT code in here. Right, so our pressure temperature code, that's what that stands for. AC number 3. we want to get as many of the units as we can. Let's say if we worked on 3 different units, we do want to add this pressure temperature code 3 times just to make sure we're recording everything that's kind of going on here. Discharge pressure 340, suction 124, supply 52, return 75. Like I said, the spacing and stuff like that really doesn't matter. Just get the numbers in there. We can kind of worry about that in the office if it looks a little bit funky, but just get the numbers in there and make sure that we're good. All right, so now we have our P complete, we got our PT code, and we just want to get our checkout code, which is COVID. Add that on there. Search. No manager's signature obtained. We spoke to Donald Trump. We spoke to Donald Trump. He was the manager of the test company, apparently. Time in was 5 a.m. We got here way early, and time out, it was an 8-hour invoice, and we're not adjusting the labor because we were here for the whole 8 hours, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, everything is on here. Everything is done. We are 100% complete, so we just want to back out of the invoice completely. Take a look, make sure we don't have to add any dispatch notes, and make sure that we're good. Working, we will complete and save. All right, back out. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes, we are. And that is it, how to do a quoted job invoice. Thank you.